So I've received some questions since I've started this YouTube journey, and I want to share who I am and my personal experiences with you. The first question I've received is, who is Adrienne? And what actually makes Adrienne this expert in talking about transition leadership, her faith, her tech? Who are you? I'm glad you asked, who am I? So, I am a wife and a mother of 6 children. I have been in technology for over 30 years, and I've been in leadership 20 something years of that 30 years. And I've seen a lot of transition, especially in the area of information technology. I've seen things evolve. I've seen my career evolve. I've seen my personal life evolve. And in those uncertain times, I just felt like helpless. And so I really started to dig in and really start to figure out, why do I feel helpless? How do I grab my power back and move from feeling helpless to, this is an opportunity for me to do something in this moment, open myself up to this moment. And so that has helped me along my journey. And I just wanted to share these life experiences with you. I am a creator. I first started this journey. I created a blog. My blog is Wayssy.com. And I started that maybe 2 or 3 years ago, just blogging and talking to working moms, because that's what I was. I am still a working mother, and I was raising 6 children with my husband of 20 years. And so tech, leadership, and faith were the primary things that really got me through this journey. And my faith is probably the most important one of them all that helped me through those uncertain times. Question number 2. You've been in technology for 25 years. Why do this now? So, I've spent my time cultivating careers, helping people along their career path, and also working on my career. And what I've always discovered is, if you're comfortable, you're vulnerable. And so you have to understand how to stretch yourself. You have to understand how to build yourself for those tough times and those uncertain situations. And I can say 9 IT certifications later, bachelor's and master's degree, I've had a lot of experience in cultivating my career. And I've learned how to stay ahead of the shift. And what I mean by staying ahead of the shift is, you can see things changing in your life and in your career and in your family. Don't turn a blind eye to those changes. How do you embrace those changes to where you can stay ahead of them, or at the very minimum, try to have a handle on them? Now, I'm not saying nothing ever catches me off guard. I would never stand on this platform and say something like that. But what I will say is, I have built my life to where when things come, I know how to go through my progressions of pausing and thinking and leaning into my resilient skill set to help me through these journeys. Life lessons, career lessons, they're not always inside of these corporate walls. Sometimes you have to lean into other areas of your life to get the best out of your life. So it's in the uncomfortable situations that you find your best resilience. Question number 3. Why do you talk so much about transition? Well, the reason why I talk so much about transition is, face it, if you're breathing, something is always changing. I don't care if when you get up in the mornings, you're transitioning from a restful state to preparing for a day. That's a transition. If you really take a step back and you look throughout your day, throughout your journey, you've had to come across some type of transition, Some situations may be small situations that was easy to knock out. Others may have been challenging, right? And oftentimes people hurry up and get out of those situations. They never really understand that since I'm here, how do I make the best of these situations? And that's where transition leadership comes in. And that's where I found my passion, is just taking the unknown, the things that we feel like they are not in our control, and trying to grab just a little control over the situation. Question number 4. What exactly is Wayssy? Where did you get that name from? Wayssy started off with me blogging, but it turned into community. I'm one of the few bloggers that I actually still allow people to make comments under my blogs, my articles, because I want to be engaging. I want to connect with people. I want to meet people where they are. I don't want to feed somebody false hope. I don't want to make it seem like I have all the answers. But what I want to do is I want to bring a community of people together and help them either in their faith, either in their leadership, or either in technology. And when I say technology, a lot of times you'll hear me say AI. That's because AI is a hot button issue. But I can truly tell you that I've been immersed in AI for almost 4 years now. So long before it became a buzzword, I was working in it and I was rolling out projects in this space. So I understand technology, and I can meet the grandmother that's just trying to get spammers to stop spamming her phone, and then I can code with the best of them. So I like to use my range, even in technology, to just meet people. And then let's talk about my faith. My faith has carried me so far. And my faith has given me things that I cannot imagine in my life. And so when I build all of those things together, that's the brand. That's my Wayssy brand. That's what made me launch Tech, Leadership, and Faith with Adrienne, because I wanted to take that community from blogging to YouTube. And then I want to just keep reaching people that would never ever walk up to me, and I would never ever walk up to them. I believe in building this community, and I hope it comes across in all of my videos. Question number 5. Why tech, faith, and leadership? Or better yet, why tech, leadership, and faith? Those things are very different. So how did you even come about putting these things together? They may look separate to you, but they've never been separate in my life. I've always had a passion for technology. I've always, even in my dating myself, when I coded my first code on a Commodore 64, I never wavered from technology. My faith has grounded me in so many ways. My faith has willed me to be the best mother I can be, the best wife I can be, the best person I can be. And finally, my leadership. I've always had a passion for leadership. I read so many leadership books. If you could only see around this room, I have bookshelves over here. I'm starting the bookshelf behind me. And then this bookshelf over here is completely full. It's all around leadership. Because as leaders, don't take your platform for granted. You're impacting people. And people depend on you to lead them through uncertain times. They depend on you to show them appreciation and gratitude. So we have a responsibility. And I don't take that responsibility lightly. And so I want to share what's worked for me as a leader with you. Question number 6. Who are you talking to? Who is your audience? My audience started as working moms, because those were the people that I could really relate to. Then as I blogged and then continued to blog and started to really see change, and then I would even say this year, the way that AI has launched and pushed forward and impacted so many industries, that everybody is talking about it. What is the now with AI? What should I be worried about? What is the future with AI? I said, you know what? There's something there. And I've seen this story before in my career. I've seen this story before. And I've seen how it feels to be uncertain in an uncertain season, thinking that something is going to push you out the door. And I've had to take my power back. And I've had to reinvent myself in order to take my power back. So you got to understand when there's times to shift, and when there's time for change, and when there's times that you're resilient. And so all of those things may look different to the average person, but in my life, every single day, I've relied on one of those three things, if not all of them. So I decided to launch it and bring it to fruition. And I don't know where this is going to go, but I'm happy that I'm doing it. And I'm learning things that I've never learned, that I've never tapped into before. I am not a video person. So I'm stretching myself because I feel like I'm helping people. So that's why I decided to call my podcast Tech, Leadership, and Faith with Adrienne. Question number 7. What am I actually going to get by subscribing to your channel? So you're going to get some practical leadership lessons. And so I encourage you to look at some videos that's already out there. Then you're going to get some things that's related to today. I'm not living in some fantasy world. I'm walking and doing the same things that each and every one of you are doing. And so I understand that uncertainty happens. So you're going to get some power back in how to navigate those uncertainties. Then you're going to get a little bit of my religion. In fact, you're going to get a lot of my religion because it's my faith that's carried me through. And I believe faith can help each and every individual out there. So you're going to get some of that too. Then I want you to also look at things through the lens of somebody in technology and how we actually take these new things and we cultivate them to where we're still winning and we're still relevant on the other side of fads that come and go. So you're going to get some of that from me as well. You're gonna also get some real life lessons. I am going to share things that's happened in my life. Not because I want to put my business in the street, but because I really feel like I can help somebody with my journey. So you're gonna get some realness from me. You're gonna get some good conversations. I have a lot of great friends. I have psychiatrists, doctors, professional athletes. I have a nice village. And so I'm going to invite these folks to the podcast as well so that you can really understand life happens for everybody, and uncertainty and transition happens for everybody. How do you move? Some people that I'm going to talk to, they may have been on a job for 30 years, and that one job for 30 years. How did they stay relevant? You may say they didn't have any change, but they did. And then I'm going to talk to someone off of Wall Street that's change is happening all the time. So you get a lot of different perspectives, real life perspectives as to why things are changing right here in this podcast. So if you have not subscribed, I will tell you, please hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so when I go live or when I release content, you're right there. And then browse my website and look at some of the articles I've written. And I still write articles on my website. So also go to my website as well, Wayssy.com. And I also want to leave you guys with this. Nobody is perfect. I didn't get on this platform to say I have a perfect life. I do not. What I got on this platform to do is to meet people where they are. Because while there's a lot of people that get on social media and paint this beautiful picture of their life, there's people struggling. And I want to meet you. You don't have to tell me in the comments you're struggling. But if I touched you, or if I'm relatable, something is relatable, like it. if you want to share. And I'm going to keep building this brand whether I have 1 subscriber or 1 million subscribers. I'm going to be right here sharing content that I know will help somebody. What do you want someone to know that's watching your podcast? I want people to know that they can learn. I want them to know they can lead. I want them to know they can grow. And I want them to know they can thrive. Because you can do all of those things. I don't care where you are in life. You can do all 4 of those things. And then I want to help you to grab your power back in those uncertain seasons. That's what you're going to know. That's what I want you to know. And that's why I want you to subscribe to this channel. The last question, number 10. What's next for me is I'm going to keep building this community because I believe I have something here to share that people want to hear. And so I'm going to keep building this community. And I'm going to have more and more conversations. I alluded to that earlier. I'm going to have more conversations with like-minded individuals like me. And then I'm going to have some more practical tools. And I'm going to have more faith conversations because I believe faith is important. And I believe faith will help you through navigating uncertain seasons. So, if you're navigating transition or an uncertain season right now, what I want you to do is hit the like button, subscribe, share, and go to my website and let's build community together. Bring your brick, because this is what I like to say about a house, and that to me is a community. You bring your brick and whatever that is into my community, and let's go on this journey together. I look forward to seeing you again on another podcast. Thank you.